Revelation, Revelation, chapter 12, verse 11. And they, and they, and they overcame him by the Lamb. Salakia. Salakia. Revelation chapter 12, verse 1. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death. A crown for standing so stiffly. I'd like to give all prayers and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem El Shah, Shem HaKadosh. The Wadi Yahweh Shem El Shah for giving us the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who deserve the honors rightfully so. Shalom to the Akim. Pushing the word in sincerity and truth and being faith-based and being prepared for what is to come. And what is to come? Race wars, famine, concentration camps. Off our deep chip, which is the Marquis. 200 million missiles hitting the soils of America. Simultaneously, the chariots of the Lord lift up the hopeful elect into the chambers. Simultaneously, the chariots of the Lord shoot laser beams at the ungodly and the heathens. Rightfully so. I'll write this out of Lord to the course of this video. Make it edifying. Just a vessel seeking salvation. Let's get right to this. Time is 12:30 a.m. December 5th, 2022, the year to turn up. And yes, things is turning up fast. Last month of the year, anything can happen before this year ends. And Al-Ratazah, Lord, preserve us. Preserve me with the rest of the Akim who is standing so stiffly. A crown for standing so stiffly. Yesterday I was doing some running around, and this clear vision of this picture right here and another picture, which is right here, jumped in my eyes. At the same time, when it jumped in my eyes, that thought jumped in my head: a crown for standing so stiffly. And all these other verses popped in my head. And it's locked it. I'm sick too, so I know this is probably one of the reasons why I didn't want to start trying to drive people around, because they get in the car and they might smell like something, and then cigarettes and shit like that, and that shit fucked my shit up. As soon as I got away from him, I started coughing and crazy, and all this green shit been coming out of me for like the last day and a half. So bear with me. Okay, so I'm taking these vitamins, extra. I got some, but the spirit though had me buy some vitamins before the altercation. Before I started, I call the altercation because I'm like, shit, man. Now I'm going through something. Bought a few things, just to help with the situation. I don't want to take medications. I bought some vitamins, and I got some inhalers like peppermint, eucalyptus, things like that. So just well, anyway, let's go on with the because we being preserved anyway. The Lord through all this ordeal, the Lord is helping us. There's no doubt about it. Because we can't do this on our own. And that's what we're going to give our glory to. Because once we get back in those bodies, we're going to know everything, and we're going to drop to our knees, and like I just found the verse. I got to find the verse. So, and that's what the angels, everyone up there in the heavenly heavens, is on their face bound to the King, which is Yahweh Yahushua. Everybody. So, and this is one of the main reasons why. Because Yahushua, who is such a glorious power under Yahweh, has overcame first. It's another verse, and I wrote that I can find that one. I don't know where I'm going right now. I had a lot of thoughts. I was trying to, narrow it down, but through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah always guides. It's always guided. You always guided by Yahweh Shemel Shah. Everything is guided by Yahweh Shemel Shah. Your story is written already. You just living it out. The director's cut is made, and the director is Yahweh Yahushua. Yahweh, because even Yahushua he got to play his part in this world, in this movie too. He have to wait to come back in his debut, right? Gun. So, not here. It might be like a second edition, even a third in this one. So let's read this again. Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. And they overcame him. Who's the him? Esau. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Who's the Lamb? Yahushua. And by the word of their testimony. The things we're doing now, this is our testimony. We're testifying against the society. Right? And they loved not their lives unto death. And those are the ones that's going to receive this crown for standing so stiffly. A crown for standing so stiffly. This is a thought that jumped in my mind when I was, I was doing my runs and stuff, and it jumped in my mind. I said, whoa. And then I seen this, and I was like, it was like, dude. And I saw it like in a real cap moment, like happening. Tons of kings standing around with crowns on their head. And some waited to receive, they was next to receive one. And all I heard was, Kom Yashala, Kom Yashala. Cheering. So emotional, so powerful at the same time. And this is like a driving effect. I was driving, and all this thought, I had to stop. So I brought this album there. And love not their lives. And love not their lives unto death. That's the moment right there. That's the moment of clarity. That's where it's at. So, there's a few things you're going to inherit. Because Yahushua is saying this right now. You're going to inherit these things if you are if you are written in the book. Oh man, it was so many here you go. All right. Revelation chapter 3, verse 5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name of the book of life. See, but I will confess his name before my Father, and before his angels. So there you go. These things is going to occur. And this right here is occurring now, based upon what we're doing now. Whenever we were, in the beginning of time, those men was there. When Yahushua made them, and he was like, this is the ones we're gonna put in the world, because the beginning, before the world began, right? So he put put those men, Allah one of those men, into this world to defend his name. Every time they lived, this is reincarnation. Every time they lived on the earth, they died, came back, died, and came back. You know? And all these things they experience in different lives. But now, which makes logical sense, the full truth, make full proof of your ministry. The full truth right now is being presented across the globe. And then the end is near. And you can tell by the stories. They can't hide the stories now. You know, all the wicked things that was done to us, to the prophets. You know, so like I got so many thoughts, and it just trying to narrow it down based upon this title. So maybe in the next one, if I don't get a lot of verses out, maybe the next one I will get more verses out, and like based upon all the things, like the story about the Black Jesus. Now, who would have knew to hear that story? A man that was chopped up by a grass cutter thing, or they chopped up, put his body parts everywhere, and then his body came back and it appeared in their office. How did he get out the office when he appeared to them that time? Oh, he said, "I'm gonna leave, but it's gonna be more like me when I come back. It's gonna be more like me in the future." This is the future, which is our present. This is the future he was talking about, which is our present. Because it's more like us now. This is spiritual power. You know? These things that's happening right now is just spiritual, too spiritual. Because they don't remember slavery. If we can't, we were born, right? And we grew up. Now we at whatever age we at now, and we doing something different. All the men that all the things that happened, like I said, they don't do what they used to do to us before. Like Thanksgiving, all the slaughter, all the places they burnt out. I was just reading a video. The guy said, what he said? He said that all the places they burnt down, and they killed Jake there, took over the town, killed tons of people, burnt them, and took their land. And they said, call it sundown town. Don't come over here after sundown. As you notice that every time Esau touched something, it decays. It decays. They are deaf. And this is, let me read this verse again. And this is who we got to overcome. For us to get these, a crown for standing so stiffly, we have to overcome him. Right? Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. It should be them. Because them are fucking terrible. I'm telling you, the guy, I was, oh boy, how did I see that video? I really want to hear that thing. One second, I gotta see if I can find this thing. Salakia. Yeah, Salakia. Shalom. I found the video, but I don't want to really play it. So I'm just going to explain what he was saying. He was like, he was talking to his